Hey, you guys. So I'm going to talk to you about week 4 that happened several weeks ago. We have been mad crazy, busy, um, learning about the Lord and serving Him and applying everything that we've learned. So anyhow, in week 4, we had Merv. He did a phenomenal job teaching. The way he presented the teaching was amazing and made it so tangible. So we talked about laying down our rights. And so first, that starts with the command to be humble, because we know that God opposes the proud. And we learn that from just 3 people: Satan, Nebuchadnezzar, and Herod. But we also know that God gives grace to the humble. And so the thing about humility is there's an attitude about it. And a lot of it is action as well, which was like mind-blowing for me that, oh yeah, humility is an action. Okay, so we know first that humility is childlike. You need to be teachable, willing to be repentant and confess, submitting. And just to go in a little bit more of that, submitting to God, government, spiritual leaders, and even to one another, right? Because we're supposed to consider each other higher than the other. It was a totally awful, messed up paraphrase of that verse, but hopefully you understand. If not, let me know and I will get the correct verse for you. Another attitude of humility is gratitude, openness, which also comes with communication. Good communication brings openness. Serving, confessing, I already said that, sorry. Worship, prayer, and encouragement, and of course, offering forgiveness. Another cool thing that he talked about with laying down our rights is that we count the cost. We talked about how Esther counted the cost for her to be obedient to save a whole group of people, all of the Jews, right? And had she had not submitted to God and gone through to go to her husband when she wasn't supposed to, can you imagine where we would be today without her obedience in that? So that was mind-blowing. Some other areas that we might have to count the cost and give up rights would be like with family, money, our homes. I know we went from a huge house into an RV, totally prepared me for being in the missionary field and whatnot. And so I thought that was really neat to watch, or to look at that. But some of the stuff that were, he had a whole list of things that we might have to give up rights for. And one of them was the right to be understood. And I struggle with people pleasing. So my reputation and the right to be understood is a big deal for me. And so for me to effectively serve the Lord, I just have to give those up. It doesn't matter what other people think about how I serve the Lord. This is me and Him. This is our walk, and He's called me to do this and I'm going to do it, So another thing that he taught was about how Jesus was a missionary. Never looked at Jesus as a missionary, but he talked about how he left the comforts of his home and came to a world of sinners and broke cultural boundaries to reach people with love. You think about the woman at the well, he wasn't supposed to be there. Him being a rabbi, he's not supposed to talk to a woman. I mean, just that right there is huge. So he constantly did that. He constantly broke cultural divides to reach people with love. And that was huge for me. And I want to walk like that. I want people to know the love of God, and I'm not going to allow culture to keep me from being around them. So that's that. I learned a lot in week 4, and I hope you learned something from this. I hope it's encouraging to you. It was an incredible week for me, and so many other classmates. And yeah, so get out there and encourage people to keep obeying God and what He's calling them to do. Bye, you guys.